What's up, everybody? It is Lee Shushin Canine Training back with another video. So this is another protection training with Onyx, with my dog Onyx, 1-year-old Onyx. This is May 28th. The last one that I just got uploaded was April 12th for that Sean Murphy decoy seminar that we had. So I mentioned in that last video that that was the last session that Onyx did on a bite rag or a bite cloth. So now we're actually working him on a bite sleeve now, or just a small wedge. So this was a session. My voice, I'm getting over this cold, so my voice is a little bit gone. But this, you'll kind of see him start off good in this session, and he gets nice grips on the bite wedge. But you'll kind of see his energy slowly fade towards the end of the video. And that's mainly because this was a hot day. It was about 80 degrees outside. And we did a day full of training with Onyx. Not for hours at a time, but for many reps and many sessions. We train him for a good 7 minutes, put him up, train him for a good 7 minutes, put him up. But it wasn't all protection. It was mostly obedience. So you'll kind of see him gas out towards the end of this session. But most importantly, I was definitely proud of how he started this session off, because this was his first time working a bite wedge. Now, as you can see from the last bite and from right now, he went right into a full grip. And every time he gets a full grip, Rob instructs me to just run him around and let him know he did a good job. You'll see him drop the bite wedge a few times in this video. And that's something I spoke on before. I would love to see his possessiveness be a lot better than what it is now. But I'm not worried about that because, I say it all the time, I didn't start off doing bite work with him as a puppy. So as he's a year old, he's still kind of learning how the game goes with, schutzhund bite work or sport bite work. So, but he is biting with a full grip, and he is holding on with a full grip, which is most important. This isn't going to be a long video either. This was our first session we did with him after a hard working day that he had. So, we just want to give him an introduction to the bite wedge.
Don't worry about it.
So as you can see right there, he actually drops it, but they tell me not to worry about it. And Rob goes to pick it back up. You'll also see a few times that the whip that Rob cracks to the ground kind of throws him off a little bit towards the end of the video. So what I'm going to do to help him with that, when I'm just playing ball with him or tug with him at home, I'm going to casually crack a whip on the ground just to, desensitize him to that noise. Because, in the BH trial and stuff like that, the dogs are supposed to hear gunshots anyways. So as you can see right here, they were instructing me to put more tension on the leash, but I didn't understand it until later watching the video back. But Rob was supposed to pull both of us, but you can see that Onyx actually has a nice full grip. For those that are new to the sport of shushing, you can tell it's a full grip if you don't see a gap or a hole that you can peek through the dog's mouth with whatever he's biting. So right now, slightly, right there, you can see the gap. Like you can see the grass on the other side of his jaw. So Rob helps him get a full grip right here. And then from there, we run him around again. So as I said in the beginning of this video, he starts the session off pretty good. But, one challenge that I'm having with this dog, which is my first working line dog, is working him through the heat. He has to learn to work through the heat. He doesn't like to do obedience in the heat for too long, which any dog, you don't really want to work him too long in the heat anyways. But he also doesn't too much like to do protection in the heat. So as you can see right there, he starts, one thing he does, he has a good bark, but when he gets too hot, his bark starts to fade and he starts to look back a little bit. And right here, this was a very nice grip that he caught off the send out, or I guess you can call it a long bite.
You can hear that.
So he caught a very nice grip with that long bite. But when he starts to fade in the heat a little bit, his work ethic kind of fades with it. So that'll just be up to us, to show him how to work efficiently in the heat, which, is not going to be hard at all, especially if you have a good trainer, a good decoy trainer or a good dog trainer in general, like Rob. So right there, as I mentioned earlier, he has to learn to be more possessive. Over time, he will learn that. He has to learn, he can't let the prey item go And once the prey item becomes dead prey, he has to remain calm with that same full grip. So that's something that we're also teaching him as well. Once we stop moving the prey item, in a way he sort of loses interest. Meaning that, like, you know, he doesn't want to hold it with calmness. He wants to drop it. Or if I go to pull up on his harness, he'll drop it without me telling him to drop or without me getting him to drop it. So that's just stuff that we have to work on going forward in the future. So I think I thought we were going for a long bite. So as you can see right here, you can kind of see his barking kind of fading, and he's kind of looking off to the side a little bit. It's mainly because he's hot. So, you know, over time, once he learned how the game go and he gets more crazy about the game, which these schutzhund dogs are known to do over time, he'll get more better at possessing the bite wedge or whatever we have. So right now he was kind of running back towards me to mainly really lunge on the leash a little bit more. So, I can't really tell right there, but as I set him for the long bite, I'm not sure if he caught a full grip or not, but based off us running off, I'm assuming that he did. So, anyways, this video is probably getting ready to wrap up soon. This wasn't a long session. As I mentioned earlier, this was a day, you know, we actually did a lot of work with Onyx this day. You know, we were actually transitioning him over from working for food to not working for the ball full time. So we spent a lot of time this day working on that. So okay, I thought I removed the leash. At one point, I'm actually going to remove the leash, and that's how I know we're going to probably get ready to wrap up this video. So Rob is still doing a little bit of agitation work just to keep him interested. You know, even though you see the dog fading, you still kind of want to push the dog over his limits and kind of see his breaking point. Because that'll tell you, once you see a dog's breaking point, that'll tell you, you know, how much time they can work within that time. And, you know, it'll help you know what limits to push the dog to and, you know, how to work the dog the most within those time limits. So he caught a half grip right there, but, you know, Rob helped him go into a full grip. And from here, okay, yeah, so this video is actually getting ready to wrap up. From here, we're going to do 2 long bites on him. This long bite he didn't get a full grip on. Or I think let me see. Yeah, so he didn't get a full grip right there. So we're going to redo that long bite. We're going to help him get that full grip, and from there we're going to just wrap this session up for the day. So pretty interested to see how he goes forward in the future working on the bite wedge, especially on times when we pull him out for the first time of the day to do protection. Like I said, he was already out for a while this day working. But I'm very proud of him for getting full bites on the bite wedge for the first time. All right, guys.